In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this scene setup. I started with adding my ground. It's just a normal plane. And then I started adding my buildings right here. It's a science fiction bag, but you can actually do them by yourself. It's just some simple extrusions here and there, as you can see. After setting up my layout like this, I was intending to put my camera right here so that there would be a doorway around here that would be emitting light this way. That's what I had in mind. So after arranging my buildings, I added my camera. I only adjusted the focal length. Instead of 35, I used 50. And on the Arnold tag, I enabled the depth of field. I used a 4 for the f-stop value. After doing so, it was the time to add my lights to the scene. I always like to start with adding my ambient light first thing. So I added a sunset like HDRI. Then I adjusted its intensity and exposure to match what I need. Then I started adding quad lights around the alleyway, starting with this orange-like light from here. I made it bigger in the width so that it covers the whole area and adjusted its intensity and exposure. Then for this part around here in this alley, I just added some red lights to add some kind of rim light around here. For the back part behind the camera, I added a blue light to make things even shinier around this part. For this specific building, I tried adding some quad light to light up this area inside the building itself so that we can see the effect of that light on the other side. And then I added my doorway light and made it a blue gold color. Now let's talk about the material that I have used. I only used two materials in this project. First one, I used it for the buildings. It's just a simple material. I just added a GS displacement map. I used it in the specular roughness channel, and then I added a bump 2D node and then attached that to a normal in the geometry section. And then I used its normal, then attached it to a displacement map, adjusted its value, and then connected it to the Arnold displacement node. For the second material, I used it for the ground. It's almost the same technique, although that I used this scratches right here. It's a BNG. Attached it to a complement node. Basically, it inverts the black and whites in this image. Then I attached it to a RAM floating node and then adjusted its values like so. Then, as I did before, I just attached this RAM float node to the specular roughness and added a bump 2D map and connected it to the geometry section. And that's it for the materials. Now let's check on each light contribution in the scene. This is the contribution of just the ambient light, the warm one. And then this is the contribution of the orange color on the right to make everything even shinier. And then this is the red light from the back alley around here. You can see it right here in this part. And then this is the contribution of the blue light from the back. And finally we have the doorway light. And this is what we get in the end.